I guess the first Wednesday of a traditional game week. With the opener, you usually have extra days. We usually take 2 or 3 extra days in preparation, so sense of urgency is much different on a regular game week. So Tuesday is overwhelming to the players when they get new schemes and strategies installed. Wednesday, you hope to see a significant jump in their execution of those assignments. We also started school on Tuesday, and so that traditionally leads to a little bit flatter practice or a little bit more overwhelming nature for our players, but I haven't seen that the last 2 days. I was expecting it, but didn't see it. The focus now will be to get as fast and as healthy and as fresh as we can get to play, I think, a very athletic team that's coming in.
Wani Unga, what's his status?
I think the word they're using is possible.
Can you talk about the exact nature?
I don't know exactly what possible means, other than it's probably more likely than doubtful, but less likely than probable. You know about as much as I know right now. Which means when they kick it off, we'll both probably know, which I don't right now.
You mentioned the sense of urgency, and the guys coming off a loss. Were you concerned at all about how they would channel that into practice and keeping their focus?
I wasn't concerned that they would get to the point they are now of really looking forward to playing and to take the frustration and apply it to something. But it was a hard loss, and I didn't know how long it would take, but Monday's practice was strong. Tuesday's was, I think, even better, and today's was better still. Sometimes the nature of the loss can, before you can build some momentum again and to really get focused, sometimes goes into Wednesday, but they've turned around pretty quick, and usually the players are more resilient than the coaches.
Is there any update on Hoffman or Haig in terms of playing?
Hoffman practiced today, and what did I say?
Possible.
I'd say probable. Then let's take a big step forward on that one. That's the language that I get given, and I look at them like you're looking at me. So I thought we would just be unified.
And Haig the same way?
No, Haig is he won't be until he'd be doubtful.
Has Wani practiced at all or been able to do anything?
A non-contact.
Okay.
What about Sam Lee? You had said he might
Sam
be back.
Lee, I just found out yesterday we were expecting him. He's been on a back brace for since 2-a-days, and most likely he's not going to return this season. And we were expecting that he might practice next week and be ready for the third game. But it has not healed as was expected, and I don't know any more of the details other than it wasn't good news.
Would he have a red shirt then?
I believe so. And it kind of caught me off guard. I'm not positive, but I think he does.
All the players, when we talk to them, they've all mentioned that they're not intimidated by Texas. How important is that going up against a team like this?
Oh, I think it's no disrespect to anyone that we play. And Texas is a good football team, and it's too early to even talk about rankings or how good anyone is. But Texas is traditionally one of the better teams in the country. But no, we're not afraid.
There were a couple guys that transferred from other schools. I think you can talk about them now because I think they've enrolled. Teo Fabaluge and Chris Badger. Can you update us on that?
Yeah, I think I can talk about them. And if for some reason I can't, then we have to have a pact that I never said, no, I can't do that. You just have to protect me. Chris Badger is here practicing. He started practice on Monday. He is hopeful to get an appeal that it might allow him to play immediately. If he doesn't, then he'll sit this year, just practice, and not be able to play. Tayo I haven't talked to, haven't had any conversations with, and really don't intend to. He has a lot of academic work to do, and that ought to be his focus, and he won't have really anything to do with our program until eligibility and or any other issues that there might be, if there are any, are resolved. And so I probably won't have a sit-down conversation with him until January, would be my guess at this point, if that soon.
Regarding Chris, and you play Notre Dame, how do most coaches handle that as far as seeing the team on the schedule that the kid's transferring to?
I think most of us don't have an issue with that, and I'm certainly not going to sit down with them and get my notepad out and ask about personnel or he's just a part of our program now, and I think that's the way most coaches would handle it.
Have you been given any indication from the NCAA on when that appeal would be, yay or nay?
No, I don't. I haven't put any time, effort, or energy into it. That was just something that was passed on to me by our compliance officer, and I guess there are some circumstances that I can't speak to, nor am I aware of. I just heard that might happen, but I'm not planning on it.
As far as availability, just in nose tackle, are you happy with the two-man rotation, or is John Raheem Peoples ready to take some reps?
Two-man rotation right now is probably the way it will finish for the year, I would guess. Marcus did a nice job. We'll probably get maybe 5 more snaps. I think he got 15, so maybe 20-ish is where I'd feel comfortable with him. Ethan played great. The guy that has earned more playing time is Logan Teale, who's a walk-on, but he's playing well, and so he gives us some flexibility at end with Bronson and Remington, but he'd be the next one in out there after we had moved Ethan. So Ethan can play both, and Logan would be number 5 right now in terms of defensive linemen that would play.
Skill set positions for Texas are Jackson Shipley, Michael Davis, and they got DJ Johnson inside. Talk about the receiver sets and what you've seen from this year in comparison to when you played in 2000.
Yeah, I don't know the names as well. I know numbers, and they're skilled and they're athletic and they're fast and they're Texas players. And I'm impressed by their recruiting class and the way that they run down the field, et cetera. And so they certainly have athletes, and they try to get them in space.
Yeah, DJ Johnson is he's been slot receiver, also tailback, and he's been quite a versatile.
Is that number 4?
I believe so.
Yeah, number
fast
4
guy.
is good.
Yeah.
With the way the schedule,
That's probably the title of a story right there. Number 4 is good.
the way the schedule sets up, would you prefer to have kind of a cupcake this early? I mean, Texas this early seems like a real ambitious team to
Was
play.
that a compliment? We're, I knew exactly, I can't say I knew exactly. We designed it to jump right into it and go. And I'm looking forward to it. Our team is looking forward to it. And I think we have a good chance. I think we had a good chance a week ago. And I think we'll have a good chance in every game. Certainly we need to improve and improve substantially, but I'm looking forward to the game. And what I've also found out, because we played Northern Iowa and we played Eastern Washington, and some people, or some games you think that you're scheduling that might be easier don't work out that way. And I know San Diego State just had one of those as well, and Oregon State just had one, and Iowa State just had one. And so, man, the scheduling, it's hard to know. But we get to play Texas, and as an independent, I like that.
You mentioned knowing Mac. Have you shared stories? I mean, it's interesting. I'm sure he's enamored by what it takes to recruit and win at BYU, and he's navigating an interesting Texas high school system there. Is there that common bond of maybe 2 unique institutions?
Yeah, I think there is. We've talked quite a bit, and I think there's a similar moral code and moral compass just from our conversations, and I've learned a lot from him. He's really wise, has a ton of experience, and is a strong leader. I was impressed when in the board meetings at his command of running a meeting with dynamic personalities and a lot of different agendas and competing interests, and he's respectful and firm, but also I think pretty cerebral. So I was impressed. I am impressed.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
That's perfect.